podcast today. We're going to be talking about a new topic, something near and dear to your heart. The World Poker Tournament going May 30th through July 18th.
It's a long one.
Yeah, that's a lot of time right there.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, a month and a half of poker, just straight.
Millions of dollars flowing through people's pockets right now
It's crazy.
that they'll never see again.
That's wild. So you were telling me a little bit about this. First of all, you mentioned the gold bracelets to me. I'll have you go over that in a little bit in a second. But for those who don't know, you can go to the World Poker Tournament. I believe you said $10,000 buy-in, correct?
$10,000 buy-in. So we could fly out right now. I don't know if we can still register, but yeah, we can fly out, buy in for 10 grand, start playing with the big dogs.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
So I'm not terribly familiar with poker as a. I mostly just play, like with you when we have this small little get together.
He's a solitaire guy.
I'm not really a gambler to begin with. We like gambling over here at the More to Us podcast. However, poker is Jacob's specialty. He's our resident expert on the topic. So right now, I'm going to turn it over to you. Have you introduce us to poker a little bit, and explain the gold bracelets, explain the tournament a little bit to everybody, and why don't you give us some of your goats, some of your greatest of all time poker players?
For sure.
So why don't we start with the gold bracelet?
Yeah, and then just before that, just like poker in general, I basically only play Texas Hold'em. I know how to play other poker games, or even if I don't know, it's fairly easy to pick up on. At the end of the day, poker's, no free advertising. Get it out of here. But poker, really, at the end of the day, it's always just going to be the best 5 cards,
Okay.
right? So I don't care if you're playing a game like Texas Hold'em where you're dealt 2 cards, and there's other games where you can get 4 cards, 5 cards. So yeah, it all depends. But it's always about just having the best 5 cards. Yeah, gold bracelets, the World Series of Poker, that's essentially like the NBA Finals, the Lombardi Trophy, the Stanley Cup.
The green jacket.
The green jacket, exactly, of poker. So the World Series of Poker, it's going on for over a month right now through July 18th, like you said. But the masses pile in. Rich people across the nation, regular dudes like you and I who might have some money saved up, go and play. Celebrities play, and then you have the professionals who play.
So it's interesting that you actually wanted to do this, because up until last year, I hadn't known anybody that actually went and played in the poker tournament. Actually, I had a dear friend. He went down there and competed. I think he was there for like first week last year.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
He played in, he wasn't just in Vegas playing poker. He went to the World Series of Poker and was playing.
Yeah, like he was actually in one of the he was in one of those tournaments that you compete to get like the spot. So you have like one of those guaranteed spots.
Yeah, you get a seat at the table.
Yeah. So he had one of those, and I don't remember. I don't think he walked out of there with a lot of money, but
still,
I think by he had made it a couple days, so he ended up with $20,000-$30,000 or something. But no, it's interesting that he chose to do this, because up until last year I didn't know anybody, and I had watched a little bit of it, but it's totally different when you actually kind of know somebody, and we might actually have to see if I want to come on at some point and
that'd be dope.
Talk about it. But so for the World Poker Tournament, who
World Series of Poker.
World Series of Poker. Yeah. So who's one of your favorite poker players? Let's get that one out of the way. I know you like to talk about this.
This gets me excited. So backstory to it though. So growing up as a kid, my dad in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, online poker was the thing, right? It wasn't illegal. Maybe it was, but it wasn't banned or anything. Everyone was playing it until all the states passed those laws where online gambling was illegal. Up until now, it's just now coming back around. But anyways, I grew up, my dad always played full tilt poker. That and Poker Stars. but it was just you played on your computer. You'd be at a table, like a little virtual table. You had your little character avatar. My dad would play in like some big tournaments. My dad won a lot of money. I'm sure he lost a lot of money. Sorry, Dad. But it was I grew up watching him play that, and he always used to watch. I think it was called Poker at Night. It was on like PokerStars.com or channel or the World Series of Poker channel, but I believe it was called Poker at Night, and they had all the best players on there.
Okay.
But Daniel Negreanu, the GOAT, in my opinion. I believe he's first. He's first or second in career earnings. I think he's second. I think Justin Bonomo passed him, but he's Justin Bonomo. He's like a new age player. He has a lot of online winnings. Anyways, though, Daniel Negreanu, he's such a good player. He's always like mentally. He's always a step ahead, and he really breaks down the game. But he's a character at the table too, dude. He's always flapping his gums at the table. Really like poker etiquette. You're kind of supposed to be quiet and allow the guys to think, and he's like a shit talker at the poker table.
So I pulled it up right. He is just short of 50 million recorded earnings.
Negreanu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 49.982 million.
Yeah, he's a beast.
So he's just short of that.
Mm-hmm.
In the world, he has 6 bracelets.
Yeah, he's got a few. There's a couple guys who have more, like Phil Helmuth. Phil Ivey might be up there too. I'll get to them. But yeah, dude, Negreanu by far my favorite player. Such a character at the table. He's hilarious. And there's guys like Phil Helmuth. Phil Helmuth is another like shit talker, but Phil Helmuth gets so salty. So like say he's playing and like he has the better hand and the dude he's playing against has no business being in the hand still.
Mhm.
Like the river's about to come out. And like say he's got like pocket aces and this guy's playing 7-2. Somehow the other guy wins the hand. But like after the flop, the turn, and the river, you had no business still being in the hand. Like you should have folded forever ago. The chances of you winning, like getting that final card, are so slim. He would get beat by those type of hands all the time and go ballistic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, he'd go nuts. So he's another fun one to watch. That's my dad's favorite poker player.
His name is Phil Ivey.
No, Phil Helmuth. Phil Ivey. He's like the Tiger Woods of poker.
Phil Helmuth, 25.5 million earnings.
He's a dog. I think he has more bracelets than Negreanu.
Yeah, 16 bracelets. He's got less total World Series poker winnings though, which is ironic. 16 bracelets, 2.5 times as much, but
also I don't think he's like big on the online poker. Like Negreanu plays, but that Bonomo guy who I believe has the most career winnings, he's like an online poker star. So now like in the new age, there's all these guys who came up playing poker online. Negreanu, Helmuth, Phil Ivey, they are old school players, came up playing person to person. But Phil Ivey, he literally looks just like Tiger Woods. Like he looks just like him. And skill wise, Phil Ivey is probably the best poker player. Like he's just a dog. Yeah, man, the gold bracelets, all those guys always compete in the World Series of Poker. And if you win an event at the World Series of Poker, that's how you get yourself a bracelet.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You ever watch The Office?
No, I have not.
So there's an episode, Kevin, the big fat guy.
Yeah.
So he's like the office idiot, the office moron.
Mm-hmm.
But he always has all these weird skills. Like there's one time they play basketball and he just drains like 10 threes in a row. It's just the funniest thing because nobody expects it. But they have like a gambling night. One day in one episode of The Office, it's to raise money or something. But they have a gambling night and Kevin's there at the poker table, all dappered up, and he's got his gold bracelet on, and he's like a dog at poker. It's just hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. But I would highly recommend anybody to go check out Daniel Negreanu highlights because first of all, like the mental aspect of his game is crazy. He's always one step ahead, always outthinking his opponent, and he's hilarious at the table. And he gets under people's skin, especially Helmuth. Him and Helmuth have some good battles, bro.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I might have to look some of those up.
Yeah. Go watch them because they're good. It's just a great game. It's a great game. Takes a lot of thought. And I love playing poker. I grew up playing online. So like before I was even 18, which obviously you have to be 21, but before I was like 15, 16 years old, playing on full tilt poker, playing in
Not
tournaments and
for
shit.
money. He wasn't playing for money, by the way.
Correct.
Disclaimer:
Yeah.
These were paper trading accounts that he was playing on. No real money was.
Statute of limitations has passed.
But he was still playing for fake money.
Yep.
He definitely was not playing for real money.
Poker's fun to play online, but it's not. It's nowhere near what it's like playing in person.
So have you actually gone and played poker in person yet? Like at a
Not
at
at
a
a casino.
casino?
No, I want to.
We should do that sometime.
Yeah,
Let me talk about the experience afterwards on the podcast, because I haven't been. I mean, I'm the oldest member of the podcast. I haven't been to a casino yet. Don't really, me. I don't really like gambling. I'm a big assets kind of guy.
Yeah.
I prefer my gambling to be where I retain ownership of something at the very least, as opposed to losing all my money and betting on somebody else's strategies. But I'd be interested. I would go. Especially after we probably would play for a little bit.
Yeah, if
but
we
I would
played
be,
here just for fun to kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah,
it'd be fun, man.
I would be down to go though.
Yeah, we would have a good time. It would be awesome is if we got seated at a table with just some high rollers, just some people who have money in their pockets and are looking for ways to blow it, but really don't have a concept of the game. There's a lot of people like that. People typically like the people who like poker and go to casinos and gamble are typically people. Well, one, they're either good, but a lot of the time they're people who just have too much money that they know what to do with, and they just go and play poker. Kind of like in Molly's game.
Yeah.
How there's that dude they take advantage of.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll definitely have to, look into that. But I think it'd be fun, especially to come back and say like, "Hey, here's how we did and everything."
Yeah.
And, maybe not bet a lot, but
I mean, going there with like a couple $100 or something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we could find like a $20 a hand table or something.
For sure.
Like,
for sure.
Not much, not 50, 100 a hand. But go play for a little bit and see how that goes. So, is your man competing?
He's playing. So he has a YouTube channel and he vlogs. Like he's doing it right now. I've been watching him, but he kind of like vlogs his every day when he goes into the casino, and fucks with everybody. He's always like messing with people as they're playing. It's hilarious. But yeah, he vlogs it all. But he's doing everything, not just Texas Hold'em. He's playing all the games right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's cleaning up. I mean, he always does.
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah, he's a good teacher too. He's really like, if you watch his videos, he teaches a lot about like equities in hands, playing the odds, when to bluff, when not to, just everything to do with it. But dude, back to the World Series of Poker though, there's so many celebrities who play in that. So like Tony Romo's big on poker.
Oh really?
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, I think play, and Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire is a dog at poker.
I've heard that.
Texas Hold'em. Molly's game. Yeah. If anyone hasn't seen Molly's game or has seen it,
check it out.
Yeah, and who plays him? Is it Michael Cera?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Michael Cera's character in the movie. He's not named. It's not his name. Isn't Tobey Maguire in the movie, but that's Tobey Maguire in real life.
I think after I watched that, that's what you told me.
Yeah,
like that's supposed to be Tobey Maguire, and I was like, okay, because I sat the whole movie wondering if they were gonna kind of give a little head nod to who it was.
Yeah,
because I was curious, because he is in there just wiping the floor with people.
Spider-Man's a hell of a poker player, bro.
And so I mean, it'd be something I'm interested in, especially because if you're good at poker, it's not really gambling, because then you're just playing the odds.
For sure.
So like you're looking at it from an ROI perspective instead of like a if this hits perspective. Like instead of playing it, so it's like
I would say poker 75% skill, 25% luck.
Yeah. So I mean, like it's kind of like betting on Floyd versus setting a parlay.
Yeah.
Like
you're
like, okay, this hand may not, I'm not gonna bluff and win on this hand, but I have a decent hand and I have a pretty good chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at it from that perspective, you could probably get me into it. But
yeah, sure. Yeah, and then also in Molly's game, Tobey Maguire. So like they had, remember how they have a character, who has just deep pockets and doesn't really know how to play poker, and they just kind of take advantage of them. That leads me to not necessarily the same thing, but everyone knows Dan Bilzerian. How do you pronounce his last name?
Bilzerian, I believe.
Bilzerian. Yeah, he's a sweet poker player, but his earnings are ridiculous, dude. And I've read a lot about how like he made so much playing poker. He did his playing in private games. So private games with, not professional poker players, just people with really, really deep pockets. Not to say that those weren't good players, but like Dan Bilzerian, he's not on the same level as like Daniel Negreanu, Phil Ivey, Phil Helmuth, Doyle Brunson, rest in peace. He just died this year. Old classic poker player.
Yeah, I don't even see him on the website that I'm looking up people on. So yeah, no, very interesting. That was when you told me that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, like that's what I was saying. You find a table where people just have deep pockets, more money than they know what to do with. You can take advantage of them. And he definitely did that. Not saying he was playing with scrubs, but when you're at those type of tables and you actually know how to play poker, you can really take advantage of some people. It's fun. I mean, I've done it. I played in tournaments. Like some of my friends, parents have like these huge poker tournaments, and I played in them, like 50, 60 people. It's just fun, man. Yeah, we definitely got to get into poker. It's a sport, man. I think you would enjoy it. It's very competitive. Takes a lot of skill. It's a mental game, kind of like golf.
Also, I feel like it's one of those things that, like, when you approach it from the perspective of, like, you're not necessarily trying to get rich off of one hand or anything like that. Like, if you play it safe, like, you can go earn your money.
Yeah.
You
don't try and get it all at once.
Make some extra steady income. Like, like, oh, we go to the casino once a month, bring $500, $1,000 with us or something. And then, try to produce a little bit more than that, maybe make 15, $2,000, something like that. And I mean that right there, I feel like it's pretty easy, especially if you know how to play poker and you're playing against people who maybe, like you kind of talked about, maybe know poker but don't know poker.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but one thing I just want to mention before we head out of here, every time I play poker, me and jacks do not have a good relationship. Every time I have pocket jacks, I get burned. Every time I go against pocket jacks, I get burned. If I see, seriously, like, it's almost to the point where if I get pocket jacks, I just want to fold it because I'm just going to get burned because I'm going to be in a good position. I'm going to have a lot of equity in the hand. I might even catch a jack. I might catch a jack on the flop and then go big, and then someone will call me or raise me, and then it comes out. They say they have, like, I don't know, queen ace. They'll catch, like, on the flop, they won't have anything. And then the turn, queen, the river, queen. It's like they have 3 pair, I have 3 pair, 3 of a kind. And I get burned. No fail, every single time I get pocket jacks, I get fucked.
That sounds terrible.
Any new poker players out there?
Watch out for pocket jacks.
Beware of the jacks. Okay.
Not a strong hand like you would think it would be.
For sure.
But all right, so that's everything you got.
Pretty much. Just want to keep it short and simple.
All right.
Yeah, we'll hit some tables. We'll play here. Get our feet under us, and maybe go check out a casino. Who knows?
Might include some clips from that.
That'd be cool.
On one of our new channels that we're going to be posting here soon. But hey, thanks for updating everybody on poker, keeping the channel fresh, new ideas,
diverse, baby. There's more to us than meets the eye.
Check out Daniel Negreanu. Check out the World Poker Series and
World Series of Poker.
My bad. World Series of Poker. And if you guys like poker, let us know.
Yeah.
We'd be happy to include some poker stuff on the channel, and maybe do a little bit more about how to play poker and stuff like that. We'll include some highlights from our games. Playing for pennies and stuff. Grab a big bag of change. And but hey, thanks for tuning in. Your favorite podcast. We'll check you guys later.
Yep. Till
More
next
to
time.
us.